Hello! Wow, that didn't do any transition at all. Just boop, straight over. I was waiting for it to do the slidey thing. Hi! How's everyone doing? And a big, massive thank you straight out of the gates to Val for that subscription. Thank you so much. A pleasure to have you welcome on board. Now, let us... Thank you, Sneaky. I like it. And it was all done just on my little phone. Isn't technology marvelous? Right, okay, so, sorry, I got slightly distracted by the sudden transition as opposed to our normal slidey stuff.
Balloon transition.
I was like, whoa, what's going on? Okay, now, let us get into things here, starting first and foremost with this adorable little fella above my head here. As we say, a massive thank you to Cardboard Monster. If you are in Australia, you can watch out for drop bears like Koal Capone, and also head on over to Cardboard Monster and test out and have a look at all of their incredible board gaming and RPG stuff that's available. And when you do, you can use the promo code PhoenixYueki and get 15% off your order for all of that. But like I say, it is available outside of Australia, but the shipping would make it rather insane. So we recommend it just for the Australians. And that is for a specific reason, because they are sponsoring us in our run-up to the Antipodean All-Stars one-shots, which is 2 weeks away. Slightly panicked. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Yay,
I shall
please so good.
talk about that more at the end. Now, that said, let me continue on and thank some other fantastic Australians, as we like to say a big, wonderful thank you to the incredible folks at Sirenscape, including our good friend Vicar, as we get to enjoy all of their incredible music and sound effects. And you can too try them all out for free. Thank you. Love to see all these lovely phoenixes flying around. Do try all that stuff out for free as you go over to the homepage there, and you can get access to all of their incredible sound sets, including their brand new Temple of Healing sound set. Much more relaxing than anything we'll be hearing in Barovia, I'm afraid. But you can try them out, and if you fall in love with it as we have, you can become a subscriber, a super siren as they call them, and have access to all of their hundreds of amazing things for use in your games, be they online or in person. Okay, someone's hissing and fizzing. Who's hissing and fizzing?
I think it might be Colby.
With that little green outline.
That's
got a green
weird.
outline.
Okay, fixed.
He's a snake now.
He's taking over Zohak. No.
Oh my gosh, it's a Yuan-Ti.
Craig Yuan-Ti, yeah. Our Crocker Yuan-Ti. He's becoming one of those coetals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, more about that. I was about to say more on that. For more on that, tune into our Eberron game, but you can't. Sorry, that's very mean. That's very mean. We have one offline game that we enjoy, everyone. Now, anyway, that said, sorry, let me carry on. Speaking of music and lovely creators of that ilk, we also like to say a wonderful thank you to, over on YouTube, Dark Fantasy Studio, Travis Savoy, and Epic Journey. 3 amazing channels that have incredible music available for your games. And on Patreon as well, the incredible Will Savino, a prolific producer of TTRPG music. Have a look at the information on any of our VODs over on YouTube, link on the channel there, and you can also get on over and enjoy all of the things that they have to offer. Now, that said, I also have to say a little thank you to the wonderful people in the VOD squad. I realized I hadn't said that for a while, so apologies. It is always an absolute pleasure to have you along with our adventures whenever and wherever you get the chance to do so. Now, all of those lovely words said, let me sit back and enjoy the artistic stylings, the intro video stylings of our good friend Patch from Quest Junkies UK, as we get ready to start Curse of Strahd. Enjoy.
beans.
Oh, so boom, jumps right back in. I just want to do the transition, come back onto the screen for some reason.
Not my best.
So, as we are, there it is. Yes, Curse of Strahd art. These wonderful, wonderful character portraits adorning our screen here are from the talented, the effervescent, the spectacular
That's a
Vanta
lot of adjectives.
Blackspear,
Why are
aka
you dabbing?
Emma. Just this hesitant dab.
I don't know.
You're either hiding or dabbing. We're not sure which.
She's not- are you also an Aarakocra youth?
Oh my god, yeah.
Good old Wafty.
That's me.
All right, Wafty.
Oh yeah.
All right, Wafty.
I'm
You know,
on the
all his
TikToks.
all his mates back home in the elemental
I
plane
love
of everything.
Fortnite.
Oh, Wafty. Oh, Wafty. Yeah, what? Yeah. Okay, now
I want a
speaking-
prepaid card for Christmas.
We're jumping the gun a minute there. Come on, let's go back here. Speaking of petrified Aarakocran children, you
As you do.
as you do, you left the burgomaster's mansion and carried said petrified child back to the Blue Water Inn, where Iamaris cured them of their predicament, and they wanted to stretch their wings and fly for a bit. So, Wafty, as you found out his name to be, the 13-year-old Aarakocran youth, and Krieg, your Aarakocran youth, took to the skies and flew up and had a good old chinwag, and Wafty pointed out where the rest of his kind are located down towards the south, and the large mountains looming on the edges of Barovia in that direction. Meanwhile, Vanta and Asara made their way over to Wakta Mansion, where there had been a slight incident where Lady Wakta had seen certain cult markings in the bedroom of her daughter and had confronted said daughter. Unfortunately, said daughter was armed with a crossbow bolt and decided...
Where did she get that?
No mystery.
No idea.
decided enough was enough.
Mystery to us all.
And there was a slight problem and loss of life, I'm afraid, at the Wakta mansion. The guards subdued Stella Wakta, the daughter, and you arrived to see everyone outside being interviewed, and you went on into the mansion up to the second floor where the guards tried to stop you, but you convinced them they really should go off out for a moment and check something. So they left you in the master bedroom, which you discovered to be home to the deceased husband of the late Lady Wakta, held in some kind of magical repose, as you also had a good scuffle around and found a case full of bones and a couple of other bits and bobs. Telling the guards that there was a corpse on the bed, and even though the husband of Lady Wakta had passed away a good while ago, they freaked out and decided that it was high time for another revolution in the town of Vallaki here. It had been hours since the last one, and so they quickly ran off to give Korg, the accented guard, the good news that a revolution was brewing once more. And you took the opportunity to not leave, almost, and find a million other things to do and just kick around, taking the sights.
I just wanted a lot of bodies, okay?
And then
There were so many.
yes, Alicia, that's right. Gone are the endless festivals, in with the endless revolutions instead. And you were cajoled by Maxine, who came clattering into the hallway and shouted up at you that it was time to go. Let's get out of there. Get the poor daughter so that we can get Iamaris to help her out. And you left, but not before seeing a strange, ghostly white figure with a bald head ghosting across the corridor downstairs. But you're not quite sure. There's our new power word for today. Thank you. You're not quite sure where they headed or what was going on there as you clattered through the streets back to the Blue Water Inn. As you arrived back there, Iamaris, reading the mood, quickly sorted his wagon ready to depart, and you all got all of your stuff together, all of your friends. You got Irina and Isaac together as well, and you all jumped into the wagons and went thundering down the road to the west Hence today's title. Nobody? Anyone? No?
Yeah, let's go west.
Thank you.
Go
Go
west.
west. Thank you. There it is.
I
actually-
was applying to it, Lucia.
Vanta, that was the best way to sing. That was the best way to sing that. Because yeah, it's go west to the because we do not know where they are headed. They're just making a point of
Go.
leaving Valaki and off,
Okay.
thundering into the Svarich woods. Not sure where they're going to end up, but we shall find out today after we have heard from each of these lovely people. As we go around the screen, anti-clockwise from me, Vanta. When you've done yawning,
Hello.
it's your turn. Sorry, who are you?
Hello.
Who are you playing, and where are they at?
I'm Emma, and I'm playing Vanta Blackspire. Do you spy the pun in her name? Because it was intentional. Everyone, hello. Vanta has just done an assassination and now has some thumb bones. And a cat lady tied up on a horse. So she's in a weird place, but she's always kind of been there. Vibes. And that's her.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on. Esmeralda, please.
Hello, my name is Marin, and I play Esmeralda, the blazing battlemaster of Istani, who discovered last session that flying werewolves might be a problem in the future, and is still processing that while driving her wagon and trying to concentrate on not crashing the wagon.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting mind state at the moment.
Noted. Thank you. Sarah. Can't hear you.
Voiceless.
Oh
Can't hear you,
no,
can't hear you,
your
can't hear you.
microphone.
No, we can't hear you.
Wait for it. Doop. Juggle.
Did I do it?
I hear you now.
Just about.
Yeah, we can
Very
hear
quiet.
you.
Very quietly, but yeah.
Let me turn
So
you
okay,
up.
we can boost you up for the people at home at least.
Okay, well, don't. I have another pair of headphones I can try.
how many pairs do you travel with?
Well, we can't figure out what's been the problem, so too many.
Yeah.
Keep trying things and it doesn't work. Let's try those, and then they don't work.
Okay. How's that? And go.
Okay, are we good?
Yep, we're good.
Golden?
Okay.
Good, maybe.
Go.
Okay. So, and I am a rogue who is very ashamed of the fact that I didn't at least try the door that I thought was locked before banging on it and bringing all the guards to the death room. That's me.
Yes, spoilers, it wasn't locked. Okay, thank
Open.
you. Xenicus.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm Michael, and I'm playing Xenicus, the Ladron blood hunter werewolf, who is in a weird spot at the moment. Most of him is in a kind of quiet panic from hearing that not only is there more werewolves around, but it's the fact that these people were probably like part of the sent to go and rescue, and that he has allowed other people to become the cursed state that he's in. But there's a tiny lingering part of him who's thinking, I would really like to fly too.
Wouldn't we all?
Aww.
As I move a little gem over here next to Asara's name, as our lovely friend Firemore from the future has granted Stephanie inspiration, quote unquote,
Aww,
quote unquote, for the next lock.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So, yes, dear folks, if you have dream pies just idly sitting there on the shelf of the bakery, you can use them to give your favorite player, or the one that looks like they're about to die the most, inspiration. And
Or the one
if,
who's about to fail traps.
if they do not have it already, so if there is that little spinny, sparkly diamond there, they have inspiration already. If there is a blood red one, they have disadvantage. You may offer and give one of those to any of the players or myself who doesn't have one. So please jump on in and do that if you wish. Now, moving
I
on.
appreciate the fact that you insinuated I'm Firemaw's favorite.
Mwah. I mean, aren't you
Whatever
all of our
Emma's
favorites?
Oh, Vicky, thank you, Vicky. You have inspiration to you, Lady Vanta.
What?
Yeah.
I'll use it.
I mean, to be honest, it would have been really useful for you guys to have had that last session
Yeah.
to
Hey,
figure out what the
hey,
fuck
hey.
you were doing.
We don't have to go
It's
back.
fine.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can always go back and try to get more
Both
bodies.
alive.
All right. So
More?
there we go. Lady Vanta, you have inspiration.
Can I go
and-
back for the collarbones?
So please mark that on your character sheets in D&D Beyond for yourselves to remember.
I will do so.
As I take a little sip
What
there.
happens if we've already got inspiration from before?
The before times?
Yes, as in I already have it
Before
from like 2 sessions ago, and I've not like remembered to use it.
Okay, then I will shove a crystal on you too.
Cool.
Sorry, because I was
I
remember
brought you a
I was
gift.
becoming very
What is-
aware that I wasn't able
It's
to
a
keep track of
crystal.
who had what. So this is why I started doing this.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Help the rest
And
too.
they're sparkly. Okay.
We like sparkles.
Just checking if I also.
Sparkles are good. Sparkles are good. Okay, so Zinnicus.
Yeah, I have it as well.
Zinnicus, no. Crick.
I'm sparkly.
Woot.
Sparkle.
Woot.
Crickethy.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Oh
Yep.
yes.
Yes, loud and clear.
Beautiful. Okay. So my name is Colby, and I play our Swarmkeeper Ranger Craig, who is, how can I say? He's intrigued at the idea of werewolf Aarakocra, and he's concerned about the logistics, but he's more worried about how he could help.
Okay, sorry, just say a little bit more. I'm trying to get your volumes sorted. Sorry. New
Yeah.
bit.
And he's also quite hungry. Just
What's his
just an
favorite
aside.
food? What's Krieg's favorite?
Oh,
Let's answer the questions everyone's burning.
that's a
Yeah.
really good question.
Mike.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's go with
Haruki.
moles.
Moles.
Moles?
Nice.
No!
And now everyone
Did you
regrets asking.
Oh my
All
god.
right.
I cannot believe this.
Okay.
I cannot believe you said. Oh,
Michael,
Oh.
sorry, can you
you monster.
refund Josh those
You
the because
absolute
I don't
think we
monster.
you can
I
you
don't think
can
You
can read.
absolute monster, Krieg.
you can do it on the list if you can open up the
Oh,
list
okay.
of
So
things and you can
cute.
if you cancel something it redeems the points back to the person.
Oh, is it? Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
They're very cute.
Do you see their
They
little
took up
hands?
real
Thank
nice
you,
at
thank
mine.
you, Josh. So now everyone has inspiration, including me. So watch out.
Probably.
Yay!
Everyone's like dream pies for everyone.
blind.
This is where it all started,
Yay.
so that makes sense.
They're blind
Okay.
with little star heads.
Thank you, Josh.
Anyway. Creepily
Oprah.
human-esque.
Oprah meme John 2.
Yeah.
Bees. No, that's Krieg's thing. Okay, so sorry, Esmeralda, I do love you dearly, but yours shiny is a little bigger than everyone else's, and I'll not stand for it.
What? I
Okay.
didn't know I didn't work harder for it than anybody
Sit
else.
Haha.
I mean,
Now you're gonna make
knowing-
it smaller.
knowing Esmeralda, she probably did work harder for it than the rest of us.
I'm pretty sure it's the kind of somebody in chat. Maybe they're just me extra kind.
Indeed. Right, okay, thank you, everybody. So, we are clattering down the rough dirt road that leads towards the dark, brooding outline of the Svarlich Woods. And my OBS is being very problematic. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, there you go. Sorry. So, let me bring you over to the map of this fine locale that we find ourselves in, which will hopefully be loaded for you, because I attempted to preload it and give it a chance to figure itself out before we started. Boop? Question mark?
Never question the boobs.
Darkness. Yay! It worked. Huzzah.
Still loading for me. Oh, there we go.
Pre-booped. Yeah, I touched it on my computer, so it was ready. Okay, so there we go, folks. You can see here the winding trails as they go through the trees of the Svalach Woods. Replete as they are with danger and foul beasties at every turn. It's very confusing that Colby and Stephanie are right next to each other, but the lighting is so completely different.
I know it. I think it's my camera.
Okay.
I think is what it is.
It's really funny.
Colby is Strahd now. He is a vampire. He lives in the shadows.
Yes.
John, I can't
is
see
what-
the roll 20.
This is what we do in the shadows.
I love
Eh.
that. Love that.
Such a good show. And
Just have to
movie.
watch it.
It is. Have you seen the movie?
The movie is amazing, but the TV show is also amazing.
Yeah. The
oh, yeah.
vibes are really immaculate.
I know the problem. I was going to say Lady Esmeralda. You're not Lady Esmeralda. Sorry.
I have a title, I'm not a fancy lady, not like Vanta.
Not
I-
like,
I'm
not
still-
like
I-
Marin.
Marin also doesn't have a title,
Marin.
that she's aware of.
You could get one.
You probably can
Although,
buy
I don't know
them
how I feel
somewhere.
about those 5 foot of Scottish land lord and lady titles.
Right.
Completely mental.
Doesn't feel good.
I mean,
How's that?
technically, anyone who owns land can technically a lord. If you own your own house, you're technically a lord. It's like
Has that worked, Esmeralda?
Sweet.
Let's take a look. Yes, that works. Thank you. That's perfect.
Excellent. Okay. So, everyone,
Spooky lighting.
thanks for sticking with us as we're just hanging out here. Just leisurely sorting things out. Okay, so we are leaving Valaki, which is right here. Boom. See this
Can you
just
believe-
off the edge there of the map there, right behind Krieg's shoulder. That is Valaki, and you are clattering towards the bridge of the river that spills into Lake Zarovich to the north. And you are... I think the road is wide enough for you to go side by side, so you can shout across to each other and say, "So where are we going?"
firm, because like this
You
would
hear
have,
Vanta's voice like creepy.
it would have happened because we wouldn't have left without her. But like, Arena would have came with us because we wouldn't have left her behind after the shit that happened with.
Oh,
the...
I said it at the start. Yeah, she's.
I think we had
double
this.
checking that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation last time. We were like, hang on a second.
But the
What should
question
we
I
do?
have to follow up with that
Yeah.
was: did Izzy follow her?
Oh, it is 6 with you as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Sweet.
We have
It's a
a
family
rag
affair
ag
now.
group.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Call us
Family affair.
the Suicide Squad.
Hope
don't
not.
do
Yeah. Hope for a better ending
Yeah,
than
don't
that.
do that.
So please,
Yeah, Xenicus is sulking in the back of Esmeralda's wagon on the top.
Esmeralda's
Should we
a little
clarify
busy, or
that
else you go back and
someone's in
talk
a
to him.
different wagon from us? Someone's in a different wagon from us. Who was it? Last time.
I was an Esmeralda.
Yeah, I think the two of us were in the same wagon. Not sure about you three, though.
Okay.
I'm
I'll just.
pretty sure I'm with Vanta.
Okay, I will exist in
And I was
Osiris.
definitely flying, so
Flying.
yep.
Were you
Wafters
guys
with you.
on?
So we haven't
guys
had a
went to
chance to like convene yet about like Hey,
We
you
have
guys
not, I don't
found
think,
a
have we?
possible werewolf baby flying, and
No,
we
we
found a
lit-
dead man, and
You're like, you just arrived back, like, yeah, shit went down, fucking go.
Go, go.
Let's
That's right.
freaking go. I need to add thumb bone to my inventory. Cool. So, I'm gonna lean over to Asara and just kind of hold my pouch of like animal bones and like casting implements and just kind of like slowly count them out, add the thumb bones in, and just say, none of that felt regular.
Has
Wouldn't you agree?
any of this felt regular? That was particularly irregular.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not sure if Lady Wachter could have given us more answers, but at least we know not to follow up that trail, considering she is no longer with us. And the dead, as we know, do not speak unless you are worthy of hearing their preordained voices. Although,
I mean,
wonder what the others were up to. She'll lean over, see what was potentially
Probably.
happening on the other wagon. Should we tell them?
definitely, once we get far away from here where we can be blamed for yet another murder.
Was it our fault? No. Probably not. Definitely not my fault.
Definitely not!
Yes. I agree. But Asara, I did give Stella the crossbow bolt. That doesn't mean anything though, does it? That was all the Raven Queen's will. Yes, it was. It was the Raven Queen's will.
Yes. It was the Raven Queen's will, and there's nothing that you could have done outside of not giving her a crossbow and being able to predict all of the future. So,
Yes. You're precisely correct. The way I see it, the Raven and Queen sent me a sign to motivate me to the correct path, the right course of action, which was enabling a murderer.
right, don't think about it too hard.
I won't. I will put no more mind to it. My spectral ravens are still following me, and she'll just sort of drift into another realm.
Depleted
And
in numbers
there
though
she
they are,
is.
they are still there.
Yeah. They didn't come back.
I'm afraid not.
No. Evil.
Not like the cat.
Evil is taken. Where?
Although that was the very next day, so you might wait till tomorrow. Maybe they'll come back.
I'll think
Ha
about
ha ha.
Meanwhile,
it.
dunk dunk, dunk dunk, dunk dunk, as Xenicus disconsolately kicks his heels off the back of the wagon. And Esmeralda's like, stop it!
I can't stop you from up here. Actually, who's in front? Is it the other wagon that's leading? Because I'm not sure I know where we're going. I think I'm probably just following them at this point. I assume it's not 2 wagons wide.
I
Are we
presume-
leading? Oh, okay.
I presume Deomaris was leading in the front one. He'd be leading us to his tower for at least
Yeah.
to kind of regroup. I
Cool.
presumed.
I think that's a good plan. We can follow him there.
Venekus would not say that, but that's what Michael presumed.
I mean, I figured as much as well, but I'll kind of be looking over my shoulder as I mean, my horses aren't real horses, so they probably can follow the wagon front pretty easily. I don't think there's much effort for me involved in this. I'm like, Xenicus, are you doing okay back there?
No reaction.
I can't talk to you if you don't talk back to me.
He does a little shuffle to get like, is it like to turn away from you more, even though he's already perfectly turned away from you?
He's like a little teenager.
He totally is.
There's 3 of them now.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're
Oh
everywhere.
boy.
Dun, dun, dun.
I might look around next to me on the bench and see if I have any snacks. And if I see some like dried fruit, I'll just like throw some dried fruit at him or something.
I love it. Like, off, like,
I'm not
hits
aiming
him.
at your head, but it probably hits your head. At least have a snack while we're waiting.
Boom, blocks off his head and falls off the wagon.
Perfectly good food. Don't waste it. I dried it myself. You didn't.
He's not speaking at the moment, anyway.
Okay, well, she is just gonna focus on keeping the horses that are not real behaving. I guess at this point, if he's not willing to talk yet.
Krieg is going to like thunk down on the roof of the caravan and sit next to Xenakis and kind of like tilt over so that he's purposefully putting himself in Xenakis's line of sight. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Why is this not affecting you more?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not entirely sure it's real.
Like, it definitely perks up at that, like the idea that like there's a glimmer of hope there that maybe this isn't real. But if it is, it can't be. This is horrible. I don't want this for anyone, especially not kids. Disgusting.
I can understand that. Kind of. See,
No
where I
cure that we know. Like
That's
any
true.
that, like you realize like he's kind of been sitting actually with a book on his lap, kind of thing. Like when you notice down, like as soon as you came close, kind of thing, you realize that he'd kind of put it down. And it's probably one of the reasons why he was keeping turned away from Israel at the time. But that book he's holding is like, there is no answers here. There is no cure.
Well, if the story that the little one told is true, then I suppose they're young enough that maybe they could be taught.
Not life for them. It's life for us. That kind of nods his head back towards Amaris as well. Who took a long time for me to even be able to be with it. You were the first person I spent any time with that I didn't attack.
Huh.
It was. Can't control it. It takes a long time. They won't be able. Like, there's no way we can prepare them for that quick enough. Especially here, we don't. I had a whole order of people helping us. It's only us. It's not enough. There's a
Well,
lot of suffering involved here, and it's just not fair. It's not. It's not right.
I can agree with that. Having this hoisted on them it's not fair. I mean, my people, we are very imaginative storytellers. It comes with the short life thing. I wonder if maybe that level of imagination could help them in some way. I don't know. Like when I was learning the Swarm Keeper and he kind of like plays with the bugs on his hand. I didn't get it. My grandpa spent the better part of a year just trying to basically tell me just do it. And that didn't work out so well. But one day I guess I kind of sat with it, and my dad started to tell me some stories. Something about the structure and I don't know, the images that it helped me create and solidify in my head. It helped me to control it a little more. Now, this is a very different situation, but I don't know, maybe it's some way that could help them.
Quite possibly, yeah. But how many stories did it take, and how would those stories have gone if you had the constant urge to just attack the storyteller? We don't have a year. I love a year. You just kind of point to the direction we're coming towards the castle in the distance. He won't give us a year. He's enjoying this suffering.
That's true. However, there is one difference between me and Lofty, in that they came directly from the plane of air.
God.
Maybe there's something they have that we don't.
Oh, maybe it's a good thing that they're trapped here then. Imagine sending this back there. Gods.
Good lord.
That would definitely make that plane a little more interesting.
More like the plane of hair, am I right?
You you definitely got Xenacus there. Like that is the moment where like he just like that he gets that, you know, you get that punch on the arm. Like it's just like you crack the smile when he really doesn't want to smile. That like you forced it from him, and just gives you that punch.
We'll figure something out.
We're gonna have to. Gonna have to.
Those rolling thunderclouds and flashes on the distant horizon are swirling around the pillar rock and the dark towers that claw up at the night sky as Castle Ravenloft looks balefully down upon the valley over which it holds sway. But it is getting smaller and reducing in the distance as you make your way into the trees of the Svalek Woods and out of sight of Strahd's castle. Iamaris swings to the north, the shorter of the two ways round to the lakeside tower, and you make your way back to the relative safety and sanctuary of the Lake Baratok Tower. So, is there anything else that happens before you arrive at the tower?
I think Vanta's just going to see if she can summon the ravens to her, like control them in any way. And if not, then she'll just sort of let them fly. Just like hold out her hand, just to kind of see if she can examine this phenomenon a bit closer.
Okay. Give me a...
Try and understand what these are.
Give me an animal handling check with your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in Arcana.
I'm not proficient in Arcana, unfortunately. I'm gonna use my... Nope, I'm gonna save my inspiration. Animal handling, it's 10.
Okay.
Should have prayed.
They occasionally glide a little closer as they're just occasionally flapping their wings to keep pace with the wagons and spectrally ghosting through the air around the wagon that you're in. 5 of them at the moment. And they are aware of you, but it's not any failure on your part with the dice there. They seem too hesitant. They seem too nervous to come closer. Unsure of their connection to you.
They're scared of me. That's weird. No one's scared of me. I'm very welcoming.
Do I hear this?
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm sure she's talking to herself.
Okay.
She adjusts the Strahd doll
Fanta.
sitting on her lap, and then that's just.
You sound like such a petulant child, just like everyone likes me. Talking to.
Like using the doll, like saying it
I'm gonna,
to herself with the doll. I like you. Everyone must like you.
Blah.
I'm finding a new
Oh
way to
my
express
God.
myself with this. It's like I'm a whole other person.
Okay.
Who's scared of you, Vanta?
Oh, the ravens.
Hmm.
They've been following me for a while now.
That's.
Do you see them?
Yes, you do.
Do I see them?
You can. Everyone
Okay.
can see them.
I was
yeah.
like, I've assumed I've seen them this whole
It would
time,
be funny.
and then it turns out I had no idea.
Usually
Yes,
it's just me who
yeah,
sees
they-
the things like this, so it must be real.
Sorry, I was getting more and more worried throughout this conversation. How many things does Vanta see? Vanta, I don't think they'd be following you if they were scared of you.
They won't land on my hand, though. They won't come closer than this.
They're animals.
I'm fairly well acquainted with, like, fungi and mold and bugs and rodents.
Krieg's like,
Well,
moles.
some of those are animals.
Ravens. Ravens are something a little more sacred to me, so I feel like they're something of a higher status. But maybe this is different. I have to earn their trust. Are you good with animals? Are you a
I
dog person or a
look
cat
o-
person? I've heard people speaking of these two types.
I look over to the wagon with Xenicus on it because I wanted to crack a joke, but he's not here, so it's not worth it.
It's always worth it.
It's
always
so
worth it.
sad that we're on different cards. I'm like,
I know
I
everyone
wanna
wants
be
to
in
talk
all
to
of
each
it with
other.
all of you.
It's like a sad split
Yeah.
road trip.
It's. I mean,
It's
you're not.
okay. I think when we're at the tower, there will be time.
You're not galloping full speed and like clattering along here, and you're just in these quiet woods. You can speak across the short distance between the cats.
No,
Oh,
we're miles
okay.
away in different planes of
I'm just really
Well,
bad at following wagons, guys. I'm sorry.
I feel like
Yeah.
shouting would be, I don't know, like I'd have to shout over
It was a joke.
Esmeralda and over Krieg to yell
It
at
was joke. I'm okay
Xenicus
with
that.
this.
I want to hear the joke.
Why?
I would like
No,
to hear the joke.
I didn't have a
please.
planned joke. I just wanted to make a joke. It's not now. There's all this hype, and it's gonna be bad. Just when you
bad
ask,
joke,
like, "Oh,
Asara."
are you good with animals?"
Tell the bad joke.
Heard you're really funny.
Oh my god.
Craig
You're funny.
slams-
Tell me a joke, please.
He slams his head into the portcullis on the other cart, and he's like, "Hey, Asara, you look like you're about to tell a joke."
Oh, I'm gonna die. I throw myself out the wagon.
Oh my gosh, she's falling.
I'm gonna in the face of Krieg being here. I'm gonna like. Oh well, Vanta was just asking me if I'm good with animals, and then I'm gonna look at him
Are you good
and
with
be like,
animals?
and then lean over and look at Xenakis and be like, I don't really know what qualifies, so but I'd say yes.
Oh. Ah.
I'm gonna kill you. That's Stephanie to Emma.
God bless the Pacific Ocean. Okay. Now.
For the time being
See?
done.
There are some times when it pays not to be playing around the same table. Okay.
Vanta looks genuinely impressed. And almost looks like she's about to explain the joke to herself and then catches it before like, oh right, yeah, we all already understand it.
Oh my
She seems very pleased.
adorable.
Now, dear players, you swing out of the trees and onto the causeway, that familiar causeway with the now happy sight, the glad sight of the tower on the edge of the
Yay.
lake. As you roll up and you hear a soft clink, 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 and a little
Yeah.
cube of metal with little legs and two little wings comes marching faithfully,
Haha.
much like a legionary. Thank you, Elysian, for the follow there. Around the edge of the tower, as the Modron Krieg accidentally summoned to this plane appears.
Trapped it for all eternity.
Well, as long as you are, at least.
Oh, again,
So-
all eternity.
Imaris jumps down and leaves his wagon where it is situated here on the picture. And shout out to James's RPG art, also linked on our VODs for these wonderful, wonderful animated Barovian pictures. Krieg, good news here. The most recent one he released was the stone circle near the bone grinder. So when we go back there, we can have a picture of that.
Oh, thank God.
Now, as I said, Imaris jumps down, sees to, lets Maxine out of the stirrups and turns to all of you. I will, look after whoever needs looking after here. What's the plan? Are you moving on? It's still relatively early.
I think we might need to have a small conversation before we go anywhere else. We have some updates for you, and I'm sure you also have some for us as well.
I mean, you did tell us to get out of town pretty fast.
Yes. Is it safe to speak outside of the tower, Iamaris, or would you prefer we go inside first?
Oh, I think it might be
We
wise
don't want
to...
you know who coming along. I wiggle the puppet.
I mean, even if for anything else, just to get out of that storm that seems to be coming in rather nastily.
Look up at the storm? Have we had... Hang on, this is actually a really interesting question. How has the weather been up until this point?
Oh,
My question was so interesting. Did you like it?
Gothic as you like. So there's been storms. I mean, we've had thunder.
Gothic as you like, okay.
Lots
Quite,
of rains and stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Cool. So this isn't out of the ordinary.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
So,
Average deathly storm.
so yes, you all file inside. And you gesture for Irina and Isaac to make their way in as well. And there's a
Oh, I was
slight...
gonna say the magic words.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Just making sure. I don't want you to go.
Yes, yes.
Of course.
And you just leave behind a slightly disgruntled horse.
Okay.
Oh yes, fine. Or if you go inside, I'll just
Oh.
stand out here in the rain. Poor old Maxine.
You
Don't
could-
worry, I'm quite used to it now.
Oh.
I was going to make one of those.
Considering your sentience, it might be necessary to bring you inside.
Why? You saying I'm not tough enough to stay out here in the rain? I'll show you, spooky
No, I'm
lady.
saying
Can we make like a little paper cup on a string thing for her?
What?
You can just listen in.
Yeah.
What?
Communications device.
I am a fully trained professional spy. If I want to hear what's going on, I will hear what is going on.
That's true.
Just
With
trying
her
to be
ears.
nice.
Here. Now, get inside before it starts to rain. All of you, you'll catch your death.
Maxine's
I head
definitely getting the
inside.
snappier. She's definitely
As
getting
do
snappier.
Well, I mean, she isn't stuck outside in a storm, to be fair.
We invited her in.
So,
She has her pride.
This way.
Clearly.
she's a
Wait.
vampire.
But we
You
invited
make-
her in so she can still enter.
yeah, right. You make your way inside and you
can't fit.
see the elevator platform there on the ground floor with the stone golems at the chains on each corner, standing sentry, waiting for anyone who wishes to ascend to the floors above. And Aymar essentially does go to stow some of his gear, so there's the rattling of chains as he goes rising up. And I think Wafty goes with him just for the novelty of the act of travelling up on that lift.
When we're somewhere secure inside,
Mm-hmm.
Vanta will kind of pull out her bag of bones and pull out the thumb. It's a bit difficult to figure out exactly where to start. Asara, do you have any tips? Any ideas?
There's been a murder.
A murder. A murder, most foul. Anyway, I don't know what came over me just then, but we found in the Wakta house more, well,
Wow.
more than one instance of murder.
There we go.
Doesn't work in Van's
Accent.
voice.
Yeah. Since when did you pick up Dwarvish?
No, come on. Not by race, by region, please.
I couldn't possibly understand what you mean. And
what murder are you on about?
Her crows, clearly.
of course there was
Flying in behind her.
clearly the
Wait.
that of
Who did you murder, Vanta?
Lady.
We didn't
no
murder
one yet.
and don't you spread that around.
I was gonna say, just want to check that that wasn't one of those like we didn't murder them and was an actual we
Well,
didn't murder them.
No, of course not. No, I gave the murderer the murder weapon, but that of course was not. I am not the murderer. Asara has assured me of such. But that's beside the point. Of course, Lady Wakta was murdered. But on top of that, we also discovered her husband was a reposed corpse still lying in their bed. And then also inside of that room, we found a locked box filled with bones, of which I
What?
carry the thumb.
Oh my
Well,
God,
this is
wait,
a
don't we
thumb
have-
bone, you see. It
He
connects down
deboned
here
the
at the knuckle.
husband?
And this was a different body. There were 3 murders total. Lady Wakta, husband unknown. Asara might be able to clarify.
We know if they were murdered. They could have died from other causes, to be fair.
Yeah, did he maybe die of sickness, illness, old age?
Did he
Being
have
put in a box? I mean, putting a box
an
can't be
indication
healthy.
of a violent death?
John, can you remind me? He looked relatively unaccosted. Yes. Asara.
The husband?
Yeah.
Yes. He looked to have died of natural causes. Yeah.
Murdered by time.
Natural.
But he did have like the pieces over his eyes. I guess that someone was aware and didn't alert anyone.
Yeah.
Also,
the
I'm
box of
sorry.
What would
bones
she
is
hope
separate.
to do by
Girl with
keeping him in that state? Actually, would I know?
Not have him
if he's in
turn
repose, he
into
can't. Exactly. Or not. What happens to the soul in gentle repose? Actually, does it stay where it is?
You are still dead, you see. And as with anyone in this region, you are trapped in a state of limbo until you are able to leave the mists again. Asara, what was it that you were going to say?
Didn't we grab Catgirl? I
Yep.
think we
Still
forgot.
in-
Yes.
Lying
Oh,
there.
Catgirl
I'm
was...
gonna be like,
leans
and
to against the door.
just hold.
I like the idea that you just go back out into the cart, like pulled out the body, like they
They're
just
just, like, left her
slumped
by-
over the horse.
Just in the yard, kind of lying there in the rain.
Esmeralda,
Yes.
gentle repose just stops a corpse from decaying.
Okay, so
So
it's
no
physical.
no effect on the soul at all. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm gonna be like, and we may have brought the murderer with us in the hopes that we could glean what afflicts her.
Well,
We know
on
she's.
that, Amaris did mention when he comes down, I'm sure he'll be able to confirm that he should be able to cure what was wrong with her. Now that he knows more about
Yes.
it.
Grand. Now
Now-
we're just harboring a fugitive and not harboring a crazy fugitive.
Now, Vanta, I do want to clarify that
Yes.
with regards to you giving you said you gave the murder weapon to the murderer?
Of course.
Oh, of course. Okay. So, in bird law, I think that would make you quite culpable. However, in Barovia, I don't think it's an issue so much here. So, no judgment from me.
No. Oh, well, thank you for the assurance.
Thank you for making
Um,
bird law canon.
Bird law. That's it.
Then he goes, "These guys
In
know,"
accordance
and
to all known laws of aviation.
I'm going to be referring
Anyway,
to bird law all the time.
Vanta says, I have studied the ancient workings of bird law since my youth, and
Oh.
no.
At least we know that in bird law, murder
Um,
is completely acceptable.
Yes. Well,
No, it
I
depends on the
mean-
reason, really.
I was thinking more of the
no one
crows.
here knows.
It's at least more than one, though, or else it's not a murder.
Well, I technically did also kill Victor Vlakovic, so
Yes, but we were there for that one, so that one was. I mean,
we're all culpable.
a number of us offered to kill him.
Yeah.
Though I'm guessing while you were
True.
in the Wachter house, you didn't pick up the reward for that.
Oh. No.
No. Okay.
I have this
There was a
thumb
lot-
bone, though.
Do you know who
guess
it
that
belongs to?
Perhaps.
Was there any indication who this person was and what they were doing in a box?
There
In the
wasn't
Wachter
much
house?
to tell. Who would possibly
anything you
know
can
of
do?
these things? Is there anything I can do? That's a very good question.
Speak with
I wish
speak with
I had
thumbs.
something. Commune with bones.
Sorry, that's like an 8th
I
level
have
spell. I can't.
Augury.
Speak with
New
thumbs.
thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just put it on a Ouija board and see what it tells us.
I was
Yeah.
about to say a terrible. Wait, do I have a Ouija board? No. I have augury. It's about as close as you can get with a Ouija board, but
Little
Unfortunately,
thumb
there's
just
not
crawling
really
across the
anything I can
Ouija
do.
board.
Hey, Vix.
Just tap the letter you want. The thumb's just like, bah. Da-da-da-da.
Okay. There is nothing that I can do right now, but if I am to improve my craft, I might be able to learn more.
I just Rictavio.
Like
You guys,
Imaris has speak with dead, but I just looked and it very specifically says the corpse must still have a mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have taken the freaking head. I should have taken the head.
Understood.
We could go back for the rest of it.
I mean, and that's one thing I want to ask about.
No.
So
A mouth
why
is really
exactly?
versatile enough.
Why exactly did we have to flee?
Oh, revolution.
Oh.
Yeah.
Again?
So, yes, well, when the husband's body was found, the guards went a little bit crazy, and they all sort of went calling for another revolution, and they summoned Korg, and then we heard chaos coming to the Wakta house, and my instinct was to grab the corpse of the husband and see if we could get the chest as well, but we realized Maxine was not quite strong enough to carry them all in time for us to escape, and so we just took Stella. We could ask Stella. Where is she?
I mean,
Well, she might know
just
about
lying in the
funds.
corner
That's
up there.
Being
Will you put her?
chased?
yeah.
Okay. Has Iamaris done his thing with restoring her yet? John?
He's
Way
upstairs.
back then. Upstairs with a very annoyed Wafty.
We're for the platform. Nick.
With Wafty, yeah.
I see
Let's
that you
let's all head up.
A new friend.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
yeah. He his tribe are staying in the south here in Barovia, and well, we didn't really get a whole lot of time to speak. They're from the plane of air, so they're a lot more formal. How could I say? Not holier than thou, higher than thou. Literally.
They're loftier.
A little hoity-toity for my taste. So, but he is younger than me, and I just want to establish that right now. And he also
Asara does not get that at all, and she's like, "Are you saying he's your child?" Like, she's like, she doesn't say it out loud, but when you're like, "He is younger than me," I'm like, "So he's your baby?"
There was something in the way the Modron looked at you as you returned. It's like, Crick had a child?
An interesting point the chat did make.
Great.
Does the Modron have a name?
Brought up in chat. Very important question.
Because
I don't think he does yet.
Mm-mm. I'm happy with Cubit.
That's a pretty cute name. I was thinking.
Put it out in chat.
Was that that?
Yeah.
Cubert!
Yeah, that's a good one.
Cubert! I like it.
Cubert.
Yep. Canon. Thank you, Daph. Cubit it is.
Yay.
Yay!
About to write it in my notebook.
Wafty is not my child. However, he does seem to have some very interesting stories.
Zenekas again puts his head in his hand.
As looks over. But
What did you do?
No, we didn't do anything.
we heard some alarming stories that corroborated rumors that I've also heard and seen.
Tara, you're going to love this.
And then she gets a scowl on her face, knowing that she will absolutely not love this.
Yay!
You know
Yeah.
how much you love the smell that comes after I transform.
You're
Imagine-
nasty. Why?
That flying around, wafting through the whole of Barovia.
What?
He's an he's an airwolf.
What?
You've been sitting in that for a while.
do you, I don't know. Do
I
you
actually-
even know the joke you've made? Surely you're too young.
No. What is that?
That's an amazing
I
joke.
came up with that in a moment.
That's an amazing joke, Mata.
Oh.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're too young to
What
get
does
it. That was amazing.
mean? This is in character.
Now,
Airwolf.
Michael, am I right?
Is it like Airwolf?
Sounds like a
I
UK
think this is a
kids
UK
show.
thing.
No,
Yeah, I think
what?
so too.
No, it's not British. It's not British.
It's not. Yeah, it's American, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
What? What is
Yeah.
that?
What is
Emma,
it?
There was
Airwolf.
there was a drama. There was a
action-
action drama like the A-Team
Yeah.
and Knight Rider that was called Airwolf. It was like the helicopter version
In the late 80s.
of
Yeah, like
Knight
80s
Rider.
American, like Air Force drama.
I've never heard of this.
Me either, if it makes you feel better.
It does. Speaking well together in our ignorance.
Cheesy ass drama.
Okay.
About
I know what
Cool.
you like, actually.
Because my initial reaction was just like, oh,
That
great
was
joke, and I was like,
intentional.
hang on, that all evidence to date would lead me to believe that was unintentional.
a drama about a
That was
helicopter's life.
Aw,
Okay,
like Thomas the Tank Engine.
No.
Harold.
No.
That is a show that I'd love to see. Airwolf, the animated show, where Airwolf is like anthropomorphic, like fucking.
Ebix, if you're still there, can we get a 3D rendered Airwolf crossed with Harold the helicopter, please?
Oh my god, nightmares, nightmares.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
surprisingly a real thing. Daph, did you doubt us?
Right.
Doubt our aging
Yeah.
memories.
Party West.
Answer-
Yes. But yes, Fanta, expect
Yes.
many more Airwolves.
Many more? What do you mean many more?
At least 3, I think.
What?
Well remembered.
That sounds a bit excessive.
He told us that he and 2 of his friends went foraging, and then they kind of blacked out.
Okay, not well
And,
remembered. I rescind the compliment.
I was like,
There was
I
more.
don't think that's how it happened.
There were 6 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got 6 in my book. I was like,
Hmm.
There are 6 of them, and you have seen Wafty and 2 others. So there are 3 left, which is what I thought you were referring to.
so at least 6.
So there are
is-
6 of these in total.
Yes. Now we have to keep an eye on, and this is something that I mentioned once before, but I will reiterate it. We will have to be careful for the full moon.
How did this happen?
I mean, we were chasing werewolves when we entered this place.
They can fly
true.
away.
Also,
I can leap far.
we can't forget. You can certainly do this. But we can't forget that Stella still could hold the key to all of this. She knew this Victor Valakovich.
Is he
And it
connected to
is-
the werewolves?
He's connected to these 6
the children.
apologies, these 6
She
airwolves.
might know why they took him. Wafty, that is.
Very
At the very least, and find out why he's interested in them, what that mannequin with the teeth was doing there.
Rattle, 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 rattle. The platform starts to descend from the upper parts of the tower.
Wolfie's just saying rattle, 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 rattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just to be annoying.
Yee.
Cheers, Trick. So, it descends from on high, dislodging some wood dust and some chips, little chips of wood, because they're slightly rotten mid floors. Even though I think Vanta did some mending on some of that.
You did.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Wafty and Iamaris reappear. For those new to joining us today, Iamaris is our version of Rictavio, also known as Van Richten, of recent published fame. Oh, Trick! Wow, you just opened up a hornet's nest. So cool to see D&D being played on Twitch. Never thought to look before now.
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
So goodbye to your free time.
Welcome, yeah.
Oh wow.
Trick,
Yeah.
if you look down below us on
Gotta
Twitch,
get my
there
phone
should
charger.
be a link to our wonderful friends in the stream team that we are part of. We have recently become part of. We are part of a Twitch team called Rolling Together, and there should be a link below us on the screen. Is that there, Michael? Right? Can you confirm that?
Yep, there
Right.
it says next
It's
to
there.
Phoenix Iwaki playing
Yep.
Cursed Strahd Go West Dungeon Dragons team rolling together.
Yes, if you click Trick on that team of Rolling Together, you will see a fine collection of Twitch channels all doing D&D, and I would recommend each and every one of them as wonderful places to have a look. So enjoy. So, everyone, Iamars reappears. And that's why
How is-
you don't touch things you don't understand. You see, Wafty's kind of like rubbing his arm. You think he might have
Oh,
he might have messed with the animated armor.
oh no.
That
Foolish
Zenekas
child.
just looks to Vanta and like kind of.
Tucks away Thumbone in the pocket.
Yeah. Hide that.
Okay,
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
and Wafty kind of slopes off, muttering to himself, "Stupid armor."
How
Dab on his way out.
Not gonna
Dumb
do it.
armor.
Not gonna
He
do it.
starts. Let's be real. He starts flossing. That's what he does. He's fully like.
Emma, you have to recreate it now. You have to stand up and say "stupid armor" and then just start aggressively flossing.
Stupid armor. There's no way that's not gonna be in a freaking highlight reel. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Emma.
Oh my god, you were old grandma when you stood up all hunched over.
Starting in with it as well.
I'm a teen.
Oh, fellow teens.
Hey, fellow teens.
Quite-
Hello, fellow kids. Yes, and this is what D&D
Oh my
Online is
God, I'm
like.
Welcome, Trick. Aren't you glad you found us first? So, as Imaris looks at you quizzically as you're all laughing about something. Did I miss a joke?
Sarah told a
Yes,
great joke
they're
earlier.
It was very funny.
Emma, so this is the child that we mentioned before.
Oh, yes.
Stella, if you can.
I used my restorative magics on that idiot out there, but there's something there's something else I could try.
What can you do?
Do it.
Yeah.
please.
Could one of you please sit her up instead of just rather unceremoniously dumping her on the floor over there?
I'll try to prop her up and like hold her shoulders.
I mean, there's some crates and things in here, so you're gonna sit her on a crate and hold onto the shoulders. And
Feels very
Imaris
comfortable.
steps in front of her closes his eyes, and you see small motes of arcane force start to waft out from his temples and wreathe around like vines spreading down his arms as he reaches forward and gently places his fingertips on the temples of Stella's head. As he unleashes the power of his magic, you see Stella's eyes flicker and move as if they're in REM sleep, like beneath the eyelids. And as the magic takes hold, you see her suddenly draw in a sharp breath, and her eyes just flash open and darts around the room in a panicked look.
It's okay. You're safe.
Where am I, and who are you, and where is he?
I killed him.
Come on. You're with friends.
This is the time to laugh.
I don't think it was a normal laugh.
I see there might be a little bit deranged. Not that I
Good.
want to judge. Okay.
Where is his corpse?
That we're not so sure of.
But we know he's dead.
How can you be sure?
Do you
Yes.
know about your mother's magic?
What?
The mirror?
It wasn't.
about
It
it?
wasn't in her house. It was in the Baron's house.
Yeah, the old Baron's
Ah,
house. Yeah.
the old Baron's house. Yeah, sorry, I got
Yeah.
mixed up. Yeah.
It's okay. Different building, yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't know it was there either, by the
Yeah,
way. Just,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Just
So I
a
got that mixed up.
leftover from an older, even more fucked up Burgermeister.
Let's just say we used older magics than any of us could understand. Except maybe Asara. She seemed to have the most information.
Well, if you can promise me that it is true and it is done, you have my eternal thanks. He
You're welcome.
deserved nothing less.
How
My
much
name-
do you remember?
We're sorry to ask you this, but it's important.
My wretched mother, oh, she never shuts up, sent me over to that place trying to forge some kind of alliance between our household and that dung heap of a burgomaster and his family.
Oh God.
What's the last thing you remember, Stella?
I was doing my best. I was trying to be gracious and hold back the revulsion I had for that stupid boy. And it's the strangest thing. I don't remember it happening, but I remember that we had a blazing growl, an argument about something, and I thought I should go back there and apologize for being out of turn. If for nothing else than my mother, knowing that she would never leave me alone about it if I messed up what she was planning. I hope she won't be too angry that he's gone. But
Like
the
Xenacus
last
puts
thing,
his hand,
You killed her,
Xenacus
so-
puts his hand like over Vanta's mouth instantly. Like as soon as he saw her head raise, he just put his hand over her mouth.
the last thing I remember, milady, is that I went back to the mansion to apologize. I went up to his God's forsaken chamber.
That was a long time ago.
I'll pull out the journal just to kind of support
like,
that.
Yeah, he's also like
Pass
still
to
got the hand
Xenacus.
over the mouth as he takes it.
I think before we go any further, we probably should tell you who we are. I know we're strangers to you. My name is Esmeralda. This man who helped you recover your mind is Amaris. And she looks around at everyone else to introduce themselves as well, just so she's not talking to strangers.
Thank you. And she responds quite formally. She is the daughter of a lady of Valaki, and that seems to have come back to her.
Yeah. We
Having
were
been
hired by your mother to track down him and
did you
stop what
did
he
you
was doing.
secure payment before you did it? Because you may never see that.
Again,
I
like
don't think
clamped down hard on his mouth.
Thanks, Samia.
Unfortunately,
And things have changed since you went to stay with him, Stella. Not all of the things that you'll hear from us are going to make you very happy, I think.
his dark magic continued for a while, unbeknownst to us, and using his magics, your mother has passed.
And she stands. You see her jaw flex as she clenches her teeth. She turns to the door, looking out where rain has started to lash down on the causeway leading back towards the Svalek Woods. And she starts briefly as Hubert marches across the view of the door.
Like,
Shakes her head. And she
using
turns.
his
Yeah, go for it.
using his dark magic, he has made everyone assume that you did this. But it was not you.
And without turning back to you, she speaks. That I did what?
I think
People in
Vanta's going to take his hand and just
Like,
pull it
again,
off her mouth.
Xenacus is looking at her like.
She doesn't say anything.
But lets her speak if she wants.
Vanta.
Your mother was complicit in your suffering. I want you to know that before you start to mourn. In my humble opinion, her soul is best held in the hands of the Raven Queen for the time being.
And you see Stella's shoulders draw up. And she spins. And she's smiling. Oh, my dear Lady Vantar. You do not know just how complicit my mother was. And yes,
What can you tell us?
wherever she is better there than darkening the town of Valaki.
What can you tell us about the goings on at your mother's house? We need answers. Perhaps you've heard of Osibis.
I assume you are referring to her book club.
Yes.
Those vapid fools that pass for what is high society in Verlaki, they were fooled by such talk. But I saw, before I was shut away, in whatever corner of my mind it is that Iamaris has brought me back from, I saw. Yes, Osibus is a name they mentioned. They are a group of necromantic power, feeding off souls, feeding off the poor souls that are trapped here by those God's forsaken mists. And she gestures out towards the lake. I do not think my mother will be where you think she is. Maybe one of her own friends will devour her soul before it gets reborn. Wouldn't that be poetic?
Reborn, you say?
Yes. I borrowed a tome or two from this book club and learnt some things. This is all
What
an
did you
endless.
learn?
This is all just an endless cycle. All of the souls that pass on here are trapped here.
Yes.
And those who are fortunate enough to be reborn re-enter the offspring of the people of Barovia in an endless cycle, repeating and repeating, coming back around again and again. And you can see Irina looks very uncomfortable at the moment. Realizing
Vanta looks uncomfortable too.
Can't
And-
imagine why.
she looks at you, Vanta, curiously. Were you not aware of this?
I knew. I simply have to tell you that it is not endless. And She stops herself. I wonder if there might be one or some group out there who might look to break that cycle.
If there is a way to escape these mists, to return this valley to where it was supposed to be, then perhaps. But no. I thought you would be more knowledgeable about this. I thought you would know more as you travel in their company. She holds out a hand, and swooping in through the door comes one of your ethereal ravens and perches on her outstretched finger. I wonder who this one was. Nobody I knew, hopefully. Ugh, she shakes it off. Maybe it's my mother.
Or your father.
Maybe. Although, he's been gone a long time. Maybe he is already back with us. Did
I
I
wonder
hear...
if
Sorry, she turns to Crick. Did I hear you'd recently had a child? Sorry.
It's pretty good though.
Love it.
It's a good joke.
Sorry.
It's a very good joke, chap.
No, I have not.
We'll be done with it
does have
soon.
a
I swear. I swear.
No, we won't be. Horvin is still a necromancer. Do not
Organ is necromancer.
Mhm.
do not make any assumptions.
Picromancer. Remember, Picromancer.
Oh, Pecromancer.
Necromancer.
Which kind of leads in, like, if it went from Horvin to Picromancer to Pixromancer to Swolvin.
Yeah.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Sorry, excuse me. Break in the moment. She does not say that.
Shit.
She was
Dan
she
was
was
like,
unconscious
"What did you
when that
say?"
was being said.
Mhm.
So yes.
But yeah, like even if she's meant to be like, but what will you do? You can't go back. They believe that you were the one who killed your mother. Or who used you was the current burgomaster. Just left your brother in charge. For now.
Oh, part of me wishes it had been me. So, pray, who delivered us from my mother's evil?
Fuck, what was his name again?
No, it was her.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, because it wasn't her. It was the guy who
He
caused
used
her the
her.
pain. Yeah, it was
He is the tool.
Victor Valakov. No, it's not. Is it Victor?
Yeah, Victor Valakovich.
Yeah.
It was your hand, but
Thank you, Thamio. That's really
at
lovely to
the
say.
head.
No, sorry, no, Victor had nothing to do with this at all. This is her
Oh.
being given a weapon and an
I
opportunity.
no, but like the fact that he'd caused her to be what she was. He put her in that situation.
I think that's
In that altered state of mind.
Yeah, I think
I see.
So it was like she would. That would have never happened if not for Victor.
She was an unwilling, or perhaps willing accomplice.
Well,
Yeah.
as far as
Accomplice.
we are, as far as we
Yes,
are aware.
as far as we're aware.
Used to do
Yes.
it
could
on the elaborate
Vanta
act.
could Vanta have gotten an idea on her mindset in terms of how, in real word terms, how responsible was she? Like, how aware of her own actions do you think she would Vanta assume she was?
Give me an insight
Considering
check.
she looked at her beforehand. I think I'll use my inspiration here. This feels
Hey.
important.
Funnily enough,
And I pray.
two and a bit
Nice.
hours into the session, and we roll a dice.
Oh gosh, it's damn it. Ugh. Okay, I have +7. It's only a 14 though.
Okay. You know, you don't get a perfect read on the situation, but you do think that when she was talking about being unaware of anything after going back to Victor after the fight that he pretended they'd had, or he implanted that memory in her, that as you saw in the journal, it does seem legit that she doesn't remember anything after that.
Okay.
But in that state, there might have been something left over from the mother's influence beforehand.
I think that you acted on your most basic survival instincts. You knew what you had to do. She had trapped you in there, caged you like an animal.
Yes.
The animal that Victor had turned you into.
And now
You got your own freedom.
I think I need to fly free. You asked if there is any organization, group that would be working against that book club. There is a group I've heard the rumor of, calling themselves the Keepers of the Feather.
Aha, yeah.
If what I've heard is true, they are a force for good, a force for change, for the better, for all of Barovia. If I could meet with them, join with them, perhaps my insights, my knowledge would be able to assist them in their goals.
They seem like an organization
Yeah.
that will find us rather than we finding them.
Really? Then I guess I'm stuck here, kicking my heels. Ayamaris, good sir, if I may, intrude upon your hospitality for a short while. And Iris is like, aren't they based at the winery?
Oh yes, no, you can go to this pub. It's
Annika is like face palms.
They meet.
Right, the Wizard of Wines. That was owned by the same family, right?
Wow.
I believe so, yeah.
Well remembered, I had forgotten.
Oh, you're welcome. He strips out. I'll go see to Maxine.
This step is too light for the situation at hand.
Annika's
Neat.
trying to keep things like more of a like. I'm guessing the feather will want to check her out a little bit more before letting them in. I guess not. But yeah, we had heard that they were at the winery and we're heading that way soon enough.
Really?
But we also have another charge that we have to take care of. Irina, we promised that we would get her to safety. Valaki, we thought would be that safety, but clearly not. I think moving on to Kresk would be.
And she
our
looks
first
over.
point of order.
Irina. I see the resemblance. Irina,
God.
do you not remember? You visited with your father. We played together as girls. Irina Koliana, am I right? And Irina has this look of recognition, just remembering those long ago times come over. Yes. The only highlight of that entire trip, not to disparage Valaki. Oh, no. It is an awful place. But I'm so glad that you are well, that you are not fallen prey of this place and all that is rotten here. Darina raises her chin. I you, Stellar. I think if we can sort out the problem in Valaki and install a worthy burgomaster, or should I say, burgomistress, and I will be returning to take over the reins from my brother as soon as this is past. I think the Valley of Barovia might take the little turn, don't you think? If there are folks like us in charge. Stella smiles. Wouldn't that be a thing?
I think Vanta is kind of looking at each of the inner circle, like us lot. Kind of like she's trying to convey with her eyes, we should probably have a chat in private at some point soon.
Well, the storm doesn't appear to be going anywhere. So
Indeed.
now's as good a time as any.
Yes, we should separate into smaller groups and talk amongst ourselves.
Irina overhears that and kind of
That's weird.
looks over Stella's shoulder, and she's like, Stella, you should see the view from the upper floor. And you know, these stone golems rise it up. And she said, yes, I saw. Actually, no, she wouldn't have seen, was she? She's like, oh, really? I thought they were just statues. And she's like, yes, you must try it. Come on. And Irina takes up, and Isaac stomps over.
Wow.
I will go and make sure Cubert does not rust.
That was easy.
worked. I thought that would be much more suspicious. Okay, well, hello. Before we're going to rest here, yes, I assume.
I mean, I think it would be wise.
Okay.
What time of day is it? Because we left for the things quite early. It must only just be after lunchtime by now.
Maybe.
We went,
Only lunchtime then. We can't take a nap after lunch.
But I mean, time is an
Oh,
illusion.
contraire.
No, I think
Ah,
I think it is getting on a bit, Zenicus, because you woke up, and then first thing in the morning, you went to see
yeah. Then we went to the house.
Lady Wakta for the first time. Then you went to the house, and everything happened in the house.
That was before lunch. That
it's
happened.
all one day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay, we've had a busy one. 2 revolutions within 24 hours. Okay.
Happening
Vanta's
in
just going to
Vallaki.
settle down.
Roll for
And,
damage.
she's
Thank you so much. Hey, Josh. I hope you had a good session, mate. Welcome on. Good to have you, everyone.
So I can set up the
Hey, AJ.
Vanta's temple situation again for all of us. But before I do that, oh well, maybe I should do that first. I don't know.
Well, we should be safe in here.
I couldn't help. I want to talk about, and she nods her head up to the ceiling. I
Miss
couldn't
keeping her
help
busy.
but just. I couldn't help but wonder. It seems a little bit fruitless, all of their planning, whilst Strahd still hangs ever present over the landscape. I'm not trying to be a pessimist. In fact, I'm the opposite. I can only be an optimist knowing what waits for me. But I just don't see a reason to play into their ideas when we know that Strahd can intrude at any time, like he did in Vallaki.
But the hope is all these people have. They've been living this their whole lives. We're new to this. Even
Need
if it is
people for
false hope.
everything.
Mike, speak up a minute.
For now,
Sorry.
perhaps, yes. But we have our goals here.
Hey, Josh.
And we need people like them to plan what happens afterwards. If if we somehow take him down, without people like them, what will happen to Barovia?
I'm not saying we get rid of them. I'm just saying that rather than spending more time with them now, we focus on what we know best, which is figuring out how to end this.
Why don't we get them to Kresk? That was potentially somewhere safer there than here. We can use that as a base of operations to visit. We've got to visit the clan, figure out what's going on there. Craig's quest of the Thanes is way over in the west. We've got a bunch of things to do. We should meet the winery on the way back. And then potentially see about that haunted
Wherever we
mansion with the ghost dragon.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
I was also going to mention that. Isn't that close by, or am I wrong?
It is, but I get the feeling that it would be good to get a bit more, to get other people to safety first. We don't want to drag along this Aarakocra arena anywhere near that business. If we can drop them off
No, you're
somewhere
right.
safely first, we can deal with that with a bit more focus.
Not so much bother to us, and it might be good in the long run anyway.
Yes.
Thanks to Craig, I have at least some protection now until I can get my hands on that prophesized sword. I think we should head for Kresk as soon as possible and work our way from there.
I agree.
I agree, but it just feels like prolonging us coming in and having to save the day again. Every safe haven here is only safe for 48 hours.
Then that gives us 48
I
hours to do
agree.
what we need to do.
Well, let's hustle.
I want to take down these mists.
We will.
She looks up at the ravens. Not just for the sake of those living.
Us.
They need to learn the majesty of death, I think.
People who can help us, airwolves, are not here. They're back where we came from. Kind of nods to where Maris went. If anyone can help them, it's the people who helped us.
This
Right
is
then.
the longest to do.
Well, shorter than when we arrived. Well, shortly longer than the one we arrived, but after one day it got a lot longer. But that's shorter than that one.
When we arrived, I believe our
One step
list
at a
was
time.
find children and reclaim the soul of Strahd. Those things sort of spiraled into all of this.
We still have those two objectives, so still aiming for those goals.
We can make it work, I'm sure, then. But I am inclined to agree with Asara. We're prolonging this.
I don't know. I think
Perhaps
the
hope
power of the
is...
Thanes that Krieg has been working on, I think, would be a big boon to our fight against Strahd. They're out
Agreed.
Valaki way.
And
Not too much of a detour.
the Thanes
Not
it is then.
first.
And we go from there.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Anything that might significantly weaken Strahd's grasp on this cursed place. I think that's a good first stop.
Can we all agree that if everyone comes back, then there's no reason for us to rush so much to save entire towns when we could be taking down Strahd? It all feels like a distraction.
That's
I'm
a
fine
good
with
point.
this.
The goal is
Because if
Strahd.
If
what
they're recycling the souls,
I was thinking more of allies against him.
We need all help we can get.
have collected many, but we are wasting time. And if what she says is true, then all these people have had the chance to live 100 lives.
Exactly. Then what time are we wasting if they've been here for hundreds of lifetimes?
Well, they don't seem to remember their past lives, and they only reincarnate when they're born again. When someone here in Barovia has a baby, and I don't think an army of children would be very effective against Strahd.
it
Well, hopefully we only need your
it
fangs and not an
harms. I don't think you understand how harmful it is to keep recycling the same souls over and over again, not letting any flow through the domain of the Raven Queen. This isn't some sermon. I'm not trying to make it that. This is the natural order of things, and it is disrupted here.
They're not ready.
Time is ticking, but it's the same day over and over. We may not be ready, but I just want our priorities to be straight. Losing one life is meaningless. If these people have already lived 100, they've had their
Strahd
due.
wants Serena. If we can distract that away, but give her some sort of protection, even if it is for 48 hours, as Sarah said, that keeps his eyes off us while we work against him.
That's fine, but we can't keep coming back. This is a distraction that Strahd's making too. He's smart. He knows we're coming to save these people. He
He said-
knows that he can keep prolonging the inevitable by recycling these towns.
So what is this argument about? I don't understand what. It seems like we're all arguing the same point.
No, if a town is attacked, we're not coming back.
Oh, like Vallaki. No, that other than the people that the feather, what's up, blah, blah, the
Keepers
was
of
it
the
of the feather? The keepers of the
Wait.
feather have fled Vallaki. There is nothing we can do there anymore.
No,
Okay.
but any
I understand. I think
I didn't
what you're
say
trying
we
to say,
should.
both of you.
I said that we use Kresk as another way to keep his eye off us.
Kresk,
Right, so we
Asara.
put Irina in Kresk, and then if we need to get her back out, we go get Irina, and that's it. Everyone else in the town is
He wants
their own.
Irina. That is his weakness. She
And
is
if he
his
gets
weakness.
her,
He will care no
something
longer for the
happens. We
game.
don't know what it is.
He will care no longer for the
Yes.
game that he's playing with us. He keeps us alive because he thinks this is a game. But if he gets her and she agrees to go with him, the game is up, and he will just dispose of all of us that opposes him. While
I
we
don't know if
keep
that's true because he hasn't gotten her for hundreds and hundreds of years, and he hasn't disposed of the game yet.
Are you willing to take that risk now that we're close?
He wants her to go with him willingly. That's why. How many people do you think he will kill? How many people do you think in her care will he destroy in order to convince her that that is the right path?
we can keep her safe for as long as possible, he will keep the game going, and that will give us
Then
chance.
she
Couldn't hear you, Sarah.
then she needs to stay with us.
We are no protection from that. We showed that outside the Temple of Vallaki.
How many times have we saved her? And you think all these nobodies in a town we don't even know are going to do a better job?
Question for the DM. The whole Vallaki situation happened because someone desecrated the bones in the temple.
Yes.
He wouldn't have been able to enter that temple had that not happened.
No.
So while she is in the temple in Kresk, she is safe for the time being. It was a betrayal that caused the Vallaki situation.
The monastery, no less. It's full on monastery in Kresk.
If we can, there she is safe, and the game continues for as long as we can. But he could just kidnap her and slowly manipulate her into potentially something happening. If she dies, his anger will also be worse, and he will just dispose of all of us.
We can put her in the monastery, but it wasn't betrayal that turned Vallaki.
No, but it did stop her protection.
Hypnotize that poor boy. He could hypnotize anyone he wants and desecrate any monastery he pleases. We can try this, but if we have to go get her again, then she stays with us. We can't keep going from point A to
That's fair.
from point Z all the way back to point A.
That is fair.
I can agree with that.
But it's our only chance.
I
to
think
get out of this.
Vanta's going to cast. Vanta's going to sort of start casting the tiny hut now.
Okay.
And when it's formed around, because no sound can pass through it, yes, I believe.
Sorry, tell me.
I think. Hang on. Oh, if the sound can't pass. No, I think sound can. Okay, never mind. Then she wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I think she would just say. If we can't do it, if we can't break this hold that Strahd has, and if he takes us all one by one, we need to buy time. Buy time for the next group of us, whoever those end up be, to come in and sort this place
I
out.
know you hate the thought of it, Vanta, but it could be us again.
It could be us again.
CZ,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
Buying
feel like you couldn't be
time.
more clearer and understand.
Okay.
Preskin and the Thanes. You need
Agreed.
wait to be
Arena.
told.
I think Vanta's just gonna nod on and then look at Asara and then just sort of start, preparing whatever rest situation is gonna happen. I think we have
I
a
want to
plan.
clarify to you that I said understand, so I said I didn't understand, just so you know.
Oh, I thought you said you did. Okay. Cool.
Mm-mm. I said I feel
Right.
like you're being perfectly clear, but like this is the clearest. I feel like Vanta's giving a very clear message, and yet I do not.
Okay. Okay. Vanta looks around to see if anyone else got what she was saying, and she just kind of says, I can't say the words. So she's going to pull out a piece of parchment and write down what she means. And she'll show it to all of you, just very subtly. It's written in Elvish, so I apologize to anyone
like,
who
shit!
doesn't read it. Damn it! So
I said-
many elves.
Wait,
It just says, the last one left alive has to take out Arena. And she'll fold it and tear it.
And
It makes sense.
Can I cast fairy and burn it?
Sure.
I don't think fairy
guess.
fire works that way. I think it's
no.
It looks
Yes.
pretty as I tear it up.
Sparkles.
it glows.
I'm gonna. I'm going to being a spy. I'm going to reach out for the pieces and like swallow them.
Cool. Great.
Like-
I like that.
You get like stiff nods from everyone except from probably Craig, and then Seneca's just like whispers it in his ear.
Now, Vanta, when
It's not out of
you
yeah.
roast that, were you leaning on anything else so I can do a quick chuckle rubbing?
the ground, sure.
Damn it, it's
But-
flagstones.
Wipe away the dust, just
Van-
in case any dust
Vanta
moved in that
just
perfect
says-
position.
We haven't gotten along. But it's not out of any kind of hatred. This is
Last resort.
the only way I can see it.
Again, buying time.
Masters.
But it won't come to that because we have
No.
Vanta
No.
here, and Vanta is going to take his soul and make him stay forever.
Yes. It's quite poetic, actually. I'm going to do to him what he's done to everyone else. Except this time with the permission of the Raven Queen. And he'll have me holding him in a box until I pass it on to the next me.
I like the thought of him in a box.
Like a thumb.
I could commission a casket-shaped one.
Mm,
Like a thumb. I caught that a bit late, sorry.
Isn't it currently in a pocket?
Yeah. I
Now.
pull it out.
As as you all look to one another And Asara starts to digest the evidence. You nod with a resolve and a clear direction that you can all move in. And our view leaves Lake Baratok and goes whooshing through the Barovian night over the town of Valaki, up into the mountains that stretch across like a curtain wall between the Vale of Valaki and that of the village of Barovia, and up on that pillar stone, high above the village of Barovia, we can see the brooding walls and dark towers with the pinpricks of torchlight gleaming malevolently from within, as Castle Ravenloft swings into view. Let me get a little different picture for us here. Thank you, Lake Baratok. Choop. Boop. As that storm
This is very intense,
is
guys.
still crashing and rolling around the castle of Strahd von Zarovich, illuminating the towers and the walls with brief flashes of bright light. And we see the drawbridge lowered once more across that yawning chasm between the main path and the gatehouse. And we see a slender, pale-skinned figure with horns
Oh no.
stretching back from the front of her skull as a
No.
tiefling strides meaningfully
no.
towards the main gates. And we see, silhouetted against the light within, Rahadin, waiting. He bows as the tiefling approaches. Milady, we had heard you were coming. By what name are you traveling these days? Marin?
Hey, we're gonna do
Oh my
this.
god.
Nadoris.
Nadoris.
Use that name for now.
I shall let the Count know you have arrived. Please, right
We have
this
much to
way.
discuss.
Ooh.
And you see Rahadin and the tiefling Nadoris stride into the interior of the castle as the large, thick timbers, iron-bound, clump shut behind them. And we shall leave things there.
I am so sorry in advance, you guys.
What on earth have you done? What have you done?
God.
Marin did not know that was going to happen.
You brought
I
one
did
up.
not know that was gonna happen.
But you caught it done very quickly.
Oh,
Your reaction,
no.
you reacted very quickly. So,
As soon as you said
I was
tiefling, I was like,
wondering.
how
I was
very
wondering.
dare you? How very dare you?
for those of you who joined us, a massive
Oh, God.
thank you once again to Roll for Damage and Fright Dice Paradise for coming on over with the raids. That's
Oh,
amazing.
so bad.
Always so appreciated. For those of you who are not in the know and not following our channel, to be fair, it would be quite the thing to keep up with all of this.
Oh yeah.
Back
Yeah.
on my birthday, back in April, we did a session of one-shot roulette. In that randomly generated session, including randomly generated characters, Marin's character was a tiefling who had a patron. An undead patron.
No.
Strahd von Zarovich. But before she was able to heed his call, because for some reason his contact with the outside world was briefly cut off, Lady Vanta Blackspire, she lost contact with him and spent the time in between taking a brief trip to Icewind Dale and doing battle with the do-gooders and pesky heroes, causing no end of trouble up there as she manipulated a cult to the Frost Maiden to her own evil whims. But unfortunately, she was forced to leave rather surprisedly. And
Really rude.
but
They killed all my cultists.
luckily, and
How
you
dare they?
you killed some of them as well. To
Well,
be
they're
fair.
doing a very poor job.
But luckily, her patron had managed to maintain contact somehow and called out to her across the distance, across the mists, and summoned her to Barovia, where she might aid him with a little problem he's experiencing.
Oh, she's gonna be so helpful. So helpful.
God damn you, Marin.
Really,
Well,
really
Very
hard.
excited.
And
Hashtag
I'm
goddamn
so mad
Mary.
that I didn't get my action.
You getting this reaction? I don't understand it. Oh
So-
my god, I'm so happy she's back.
Actually,
Love
you
her
can
so much.
you can all blame Patch for this because Patch first Patch first
Ah,
triggered
how
Patch
could
first
you?
triggered the idea that the Count has some stronger allies than some silly werewolves kicking around. You Patch, because you introduced the first of said allies, because waiting for Nadoris as she arrives in the castle is one Sean Byrne as well. That's the-
Damn, it's like a little like
Better and worse at the same
this
time.
is like the Spider-Man crossover, and this is the City of Six we're coming up against. Got the team of evil.
City of Six.
So, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you for all the follows. If you are not following the channel, do drop us a follow and be notified next time we are kicking things off, which for us will be tomorrow as we get back into our descent into
It's gonna be
Avernus
so great.
game. Please, if you do one thing this
Oh.
weekend, do catch that stream. It's going to be an absolute doozy as we are back in Avernus tomorrow. And don't worry, Thamio. Esmeralda will still be Esmeralda. As Marin is very good at
Okay.
multitasking. Don't worry.
Good
Thank you,
practice.
Justin. Thank you for coming
Patting
by. Good to see you
myself,
twice
oh
today.
We'll see.
So yes, we will be in Avernus tomorrow for that incredible session. It's going to be so good. There are some very, very big things on the line, and there's some. If I know, Thamio, thank you very much for the kind words tonight. The RP was very enjoyable for us as well, and there's going to be some rather special RP tomorrow, I would warrant, as we are joined by nearly everyone here except Xenicus. Alas, but he will be in chat. Do come by and say hello. And switching out for Xenicus, tag teaming if you will, Patch from chat today will be jumping in to come back to his role as Lulu the Hollyphant and aid our friends in their time of need. Now, moving on, we will be rolling into Saturday to the second session of our Candlekeep Mysteries campaign. Do swing on by and see all of the wonderful people in that new campaign. Shiny level 1 soft squishy characters clinging on to life. They've survived cultists and zombies already, so they're doing okay. And they also escaped from the Xanathar in their warm-up session, so they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Now,
Wow.
well, you sent them there, Michael, as
What?
Tavian.
Really?
Tavian sent them
Did
down
he?
there, yeah?
Avian.
Oh no,
Classic
no,
Tavian.
no.
Anyway, that will bring us around to next week, and next Tuesday, Nadoris has left there, but we shall be returning to Icewind Dale as the heroes have left the strange Illithid spaceship they found crashed in the mountains and moving to confront the vicious lake hag that has been dogging their steps as they are trying to combat the evils of the Frost Maiden Oral. And that will bring us all the way around to back diving down into the Underdark once more as our quests through Gracklestug, the Duergar city of the Underdark, continues, and they try to figure out where this two-headed, crazed giant came from, which they were able to deal with today. Then we'll be back here, through the mists, in sunny, happy Barovia. Do swing on by and join us all once more. It is always an absolute pleasure to have so many of you with us. Again, thank you for the wonderful people at Roll for Damage and Friday's Paradise, two of our favourite Joshes. Not all of them, but two of them, definitely. And we have our very own Firemore as well, and of course, Dreaded GM. There's so many fantastic Joshes out there. We need to do, they had the Josh battle, right? They had the Josh fight. Yeah. We need to have. We
do
need
it
to,
again.
We need to have like a D&D battle royale, just all the Joshes.
That'd be wonderful.
One shot.
Yep,
Josh,
one shot.
I'd love
Josh, one
that.
shot. Ooh, you heard it. Can we cooperate that, everyone? You heard it here. We mentioned it. Josh fight.
I want
Round 2. D&D
on the light bulb.
battle royale. Anyway,
All Josh.
we have several wonderful and Hatbeard as well, of course. Mr. Hatbeard is another fantastic Josh. Oh yes. Okay, this has to happen.
Strong
This
contenders.
has to happen.
Yep.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on by. As I say, yep. Do stick around and join our raid wherever we are headed. I shall figure that out shortly. From the end screen, we will be heading off to spread the love and continue. If you've got them, let them know that we've come by letting those phoenixes fly, and we can enjoy carrying on with all of the wonderful things that are going on here. And power word Josh indeed. Now, thank you, everyone. So, we will have to say goodbye for now, but do enjoy that outro. Thanks to the wonderful Patch Quest Junkies UK over there. Give that username a click and give them a follow because they deserve it. And also the wonderful folks over at Roll for Damage and Friday's Paradise. Let me do some shout outs here. So, Quest Junkies UK. That fella there is well worth your eyeballs, as well as our wonderful raiders. So if I can quickly get these tap. Roll for Damage. Thank you so much, everyone. And of course, a Friday's Paradise, which is also spelt with a dice. Yes. I'm trying to remember how to spell it. Excuse me. It's right there in front of me. I can use it there. There we go. Right. Paradise. Yes. Sorted. Ta-da!
You did it.
Oh, hang on. That didn't work. No. Curses.
Didn't do it.
Oh, too many. Too
You will
few.
do it.
Too few D's. I need
Isn't
more.
it?
More D's. More
Yeah.
D's. Fried dice. There we go. Paradise. Sorry, Josh, if you was there. Excuse me. Try that again. There we go. We've been streaming some God of War. Oh, nice. I hope you had a good session, mate. Okay, so everyone. As I said, one last thing. The wonderful Cardboard Monster has been sponsoring us. If you head on over, if you are in Australia, please give them your patronage and use the promo code PhoenixIwaki to get 15% off your order. And the reason we have very kind of focused in on this Australian-centric sponsor for this session at the moment and this period at the moment is because we are leading up to the incredible Antipodean All-Stars one-shot in 2 weeks, July 10th, Saturday morning or Friday evening, depending on which part of the world you are in, when we will be joined by the incredible Rob and Ben from Viva La Dirt League, as well as dreaded GMs Josh and Michael from Dead Aussie Gamer, and the wonderful AJ from today's Raiders Roll for Damage, and Pesh from Tales of Pesh. An incredible group of DMs, actors, and voice actors, and that will be one of our one-shot roulette games. So madness will ensue. In the words of Ben from Viva La Dirt League, just my kind of chaos. So we are very much looking forward to that, and I hope you can join us, or at least catch the VOD, especially for you guys at Quest Junkies, because it would be god awful time for you. 1 o'clock in the morning start, I think, for the UK. Anyway, Thank you,
Yay.
everybody. But until next time, as the music ramps up to give us our send-off, as we like to say in these neck of the woods. Oyasumi nasai.
That's me.
But it's me.
Yes, me.